Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel for war number 8 of Season 43, and today we're taking on Chaos. And folks, I'm going to be honest with you, this is probably the worst war I've ever had as a member of SSX. Very expensive war for me too in terms of item use, but we're going to show it all to you today. So team today, Omega Sentinel and Carl doing the heavy lifting. I think this is the first time I was assigned Carl for the season. And then we have iHulk there for the poison immune synergy, because my I-Bomb was in a queue. First up, we are on Path 9A. We have a Void here on Hazard Shift. This is a very common placement. I'm going to go in here with Carl. I've got the APB there, but I'm not really sure I needed it because we are immune to both of the debuffs, so we're going to have really good uptime on our form. It's going to be constantly paused. And Void is Incinerate immune, so the burst damage from the Special 2 is not really going to be applicable here. So, any fight with Void, you just want to, pay attention to your combo. And when you have the little passive that it's applying, or when it's applied, you need to get to that 10th hit. So right here is my first mistake. I get too impatient and I push him over 20 hits before the debuff is applied. And then the debuff that is applied here is actually the agility debuff. So my dexterity is about to fail on the special one because I completely forget that that is an actual thing with Void. So now I've got 2 debuffs on me. Thankfully, they are 2 of the same debuffs, so I don't have double degen here. But now I'm already behind the 8 ball. I've got to clear 20 extra hits now to clear both of those debuffs. And yeah, we are taking a ton of damage. He's got the Fury from that Schadenfreude node, which is just amplifying the amount of degen damage here. We cannot switch forms, so we can't dump a special in order to get additional combo hits. And again, we're just playing playing from behind this entire fight. So there we go, 2/3 of my health gone. That was a really, really rough fight, but at least we didn't die. So healed up to full. I'm like max boosted here. And now we've got this KORG. So again, we're going to go with Magma Form to stay immune to both the Incinerate and the Poison debuffs. And in Magma Form, Absorbing Man deals energy damage, so we don't have to worry about any of the thorns here. We can basically just play, pretty much normal here. So I think my APB was left over from that first fight, so that's, a little helpful. We are getting a bunch of nice passive Incinerate damage there on KORG, which is helping speed this fight up just a little bit. Other than that, this is a pretty standard fight. I use Absorbing Man for KORGs all the time in Battlegrounds. So I'm very, very familiar, very comfortable with playing against KORG with Carl. So as long as you can keep up your form, and in this case, this node makes it very easy to do so. So I think this special 2 almost, oh no, it does kill him. Okay, there we go. All right, moving on, we have our third Hazard Shift fight. It's a Nick Fury on 21. This is a very common placement as well. Going to go in here again with Carl, and this fight is going to be over very quickly and not in a good way, as you will see. And I will point out exactly the mistakes that I make. So in this fight, against any Nick Fury, you really want to play to avoid him tossing that special 1. And what's going to happen here is he is going to toss his special 1 into a hard block right here. So I'm holding block, he throws the special 1 anyways, gets enough tack charges to go unblockable, and now I'm kind of like stuck here. I should have finished my combo there. He combos me 4 out of 5 crits, and there we go. That's all she wrote. Just, I stupidly tried to bait a heavy there instead of finishing my combo to push him to 20 tack charges, and it cost me. So yeah, somebody else cleaned that up for me, so shout out to, I think it was Cradle who cleaned that up for me, and that was a very, very avoidable death, and really, really put me in a bad mood for a bit after that. So up in Section 2, we're on Path 3. We have a Rank 2 Sam Wilson on Node 32. He is unduped, though, so a lot of what would make him normally pretty dangerous on this fight is not really in place. So we are in Uru form because of Chitinous Thorns. We want to stick to that bleed immunity, and that's going to keep our form paused. And we're trying to special intercept in order to refine or use our special 1s, because that will take care of the glancing from sloped armor. Right there, he dexes my special 1. Thankfully, it was unblockable, otherwise I would have gotten absolutely wrecked there. And then at some point during this fight, we're going to manually refine, get the big vulnerability on him. But this is, basically a nothing fight. It takes a long time to get through because it's a rank 2, and he is pretty tanky with those armor ups and all the glancing that's going on. So I have sped up the fight, as you can probably tell. But there's really not much else going on here. So we are max ramped at 600 of those morph charges here. So I think the next special 1 ramps us or applies that big vulnerability. Or do I try and do a medium, light, medium? There we go. there we go. We get the vulnerabilities applied, so now it's basically time to finish the fight here, and basically 1.5 more combos with that burst damage finishes him off. Next up, we have a Kingpin on 42. Nothing absolutely at all going on here in terms of the nodes. So we just want to use a tactic attacker here to take care of the prowess passes and the power gain, since Kingpin is a tactic defender. With Kingpin, you know, and Omega Sentinel, you obviously don't want to apply any debuffs to him because he's just going to shrug them. More than likely, that's going to give him increased combat power rate, going to give him increased attack, and eventually when he triggers overpower, he's going to go unblockable on a special, which isn't really a huge deal unless you push him to that special 2. I think I do take a chance here with a special 3 at some point. Yeah, right here. So my thinking is, you know, this will push him over bar of power. If some of the incinerates stick, that's great. If not, I can immediately bait out the special 1. Of course, absolutely none of them stick, and he immediately triggers overpower, but, you know, it was worth a shot, I think. So no worries there. We did a bunch of damage from the special 3 anyway, so we're just kind of returning to where we were here. Overpower has ended. He has lost most of his rage stacks here, so the combat power rate has been reduced. And we're just basically going to finish this fight out with basic attacks. I don't think I do another special 3 here. A little bit of auto block there saved me. I'm not really sure what happened there, but that's you know, pretty simple, straightforward fight. All right, next up we have my absolute favorite defender in the game, Domino, rank 2 7-star duped. Going to go in here with Omega Sentinel, starting off with a double medium to apply the heal block, and then from here, we're going to try and keep that paused for the rest of the fight because of high energy diet. We don't want to do any more second mediums. So right here, she shrugs off my stun and parries me, but my auto block triggers and saves me. But, you know, the entire fight goes like this. It's just, you know, just Domino doing her stupid-ass Domino stuff over and over again, constantly going lucky, constantly evading, just ruining things for everybody. So I don't die in this fight, but you know, stuff just breaks because that's what Domino does, right? Everything just stops working because she's lucky and all that nonsense. So yeah, not much else going on here. I can't remember if we have to reapply the heal block at some point because it fell off, but we are getting a plasma there which is dealing what, 10 damage a second there because she has such crazy energy resistance. And she would be healing right now from the node if we didn't have the heal block applied. So the auto block triggering those plasmas on her. So very important that we keep the heal block applied. I think I add a second one right here. Oh, nope, I pause it. I probably should have done a medium combo under there because it's about to fall off. Do I do it here? There we go. Okay, so she doesn't get too much healing in there in between, and we're able to keep the debuff pause. But this is, you know, just another slog of a fight with Omega Sentinel. You know, there's not a lot of danger here unless, you know, she goes like Super Saiyan and crits me to death or whatever. A solid counter here. It's just slow because we can't really play Omega the way that you would normally want to because of the node. So right there, one last evade, one last FU from Domino, and we finish her off. And then last but not least, we have a Storm Pyramid X, or P90X as I like to call her, another rank 2 defender up on Boss Island on node 51. This fight I thought was going to be pretty simple going in. It actually ends up being a lot trickier than I expected here. So I have a House of X here to take care of my parries, but I accidentally applied a debuff there with my second medium, and that was a bad idea because of Conflictor. So I kind of learned my lesson here, and then I think at some point I accidentally push her over 2 bars of power with a bunch of prowess, and I couldn't remember how much prowess she needed to be unblockable on that special 2. I don't know, actually still don't know, recording this right now. So I kind of, you know, I know that I have my invuln boost available right here. So she's gaining a bunch of power from those prowess, and my thinking is, okay, well, I'm just gonna go at it. If I take a special 3, I won't take any damage from it because I've got my invuln boost here, and then I can keep power burning her if she feels like playing into me, and then at some point, you know, she's gonna launch that special 2, but I will have taken care of her prowess, and it won't hurt me that much because I do have all of my armor ups ready. So that's just kind of what I'm doing, just slowly power burning her down, you know, continuing to launch the special 1s. And then here we go. So she fires off the special 2. It does about, you know, 15 or so %, but I survive it, which is the important thing. So yeah, I really got to be careful about, you know, applying those debuffs with your second medium. And if you trigger the auto block, the plasma from the auto block is what triggers Conflictor, and that is really, really dangerous. So you really have to be on the ball, with her snap lights, etc., etc. So, all right, I'm going to speed up the rest of this fight here because there's really not much going on other than that. I did want to show how the auto block kind of almost screwed me there. But how you kind of recover from a fight is really important, especially at this level. And I thought I did a pretty decent job of recovering there, and not panicking, making sure that I used the methods available to me to get myself mostly out of harm's way. Because if I had taken that unblockable special 2, I think there's more than 3 hits in it, so I probably would have died immediately with all that prowess from a rank 2 7-star. So again, preparation is important. Understanding in a fight every way that things can go wrong. That was a new one for me, to be honest, but I will definitely be more prepared for that in the future. So we did go on to win this one. Shout out to Chaos. 5 kills, 1 death, and our record has improved once again to an even 4-4. And that death, that's a bummer. That's our 2nd death for the season, and it's especially annoying for me because this is my 6th season in SSX in Tier 1. And in the prior 5 seasons combined, I only died a total of 2 times. So now in just this season, and we're not even through the season yet, I've already doubled my total deaths in Masters. So a little bit of a bummer. Goal, of course, from here on out is to keep that number at 2 and make it through the rest of the season unscathed. So we'll see how that plays out. Folks, if you enjoyed this one, please let me know by hitting that like button, and be sure to subscribe for more content coming your way. As always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.